All right. I think we are now live in Team Upward. Welcome to our Monday huddle. We're coming off of our retreat, our virtual event. We had a retreat for those who are local or close to us. On Saturday, for those who weren't, we had the virtual event. Feel free to put in the chat any takeaways or exciting moments that you had from that event, any notes that you took, any epiphanies or ahas. Today is going to be something a little bit more simple. It's going to be a recording. We were fortunate enough to be shared with a recording of Daniel's song, and you guys had a preview of him at the virtual event. He was one of the speakers right before Brandon Cunningham. And he's fresh. He is new to LifeVantage. He is not new to network marketing. He's been with us for about 100 days, and he's been in the industry, I believe, just over 20 years. And he's known for having a young and dynamic group, something I think we need to see more of in LifeVantage when we think of those Gen Zers specifically. How can we help equip them? How can we encourage them and come alongside of them? It's weird that I'm not even a Gen Zer, and how to support them and bring them along for this ride. But I'm going to play a recording of Daniel, and I've jumped ahead a little bit in it. Tanya Sheldon was able to kind of interview him, meet him, and kind of hear his story. And I moved forward in the clip just a little bit. But he was with Yoli just before this company. He's been with three organizations total, so he has significant experience. And I think as you'll listen to him speak, uh, you'll understand why we're playing him for you. His thought perspective on what we're able to do as a company, what network marketing can be for people, and his approach, all really good things. And we think it's refreshing. It's a little bit different, not too different, but it's a little different than maybe what we've heard before, coming from somebody's outside perspective, right? They haven't been with LifeVantage for 8 or 10 years. So I'm going to play that. One quick reminder, as we're discussing this incentive trip and as we're discussing the coupons, us as consultants are going to be available for coupons, and that will be after a subscription run. And I just want to encourage you or remind you that in your business, you do have to have a subscription run of 150 PV or more to be qualified for those coupons, one consultant coupon and one customer coupon. So just wanted to level set on that. If you're going to look for those coupons, just make sure you've had a subscription run first and make sure that it had 150 in volume on it. And then those will be sent to you and you'll be able to find those in the app, I believe, as well as in the back office. Let's see, what did Amy just say? So I don't know about y'all, but I'm bumping. Yeah, it's a great point. So normally our auto ships are generally, or our subscriptions are on the 20th or 25th. We're going to move those up to the 5th, and we definitely encourage you to do that. So without further ado, I don't think I need to give Daniel any more of an introduction. Once again, you've seen a clip of him before at the virtual event, and he's a tenured individual. And so I'm going to share my screen. I've got a notepad here. It's got a fresh sheet. Something that's really challenged me here in the last couple weeks, and I think Amy's probably pulling out her hair. I have these notepads lying all over the house, and I start a new one like every day because I can't find the other one or I just don't take the time to. But I just bought a bundle of these from Amazon, had them shipped to the doorstep. And the saying that sticks out to me is don't leave your fortune to your memory. I think we listen to a lot of great podcasters. I think we listen to a lot of great material, and let's even remove ourselves from network marketing for a second. We're listening to probably some great devotionals. Maybe we're listening to some great sermons, and we're not taking the time to put the pen to paper. And there's statistics out there that show how important it is to actually scribe and to write, and how even different than typing the notes, Actually, writing something down on paper makes your brain process it, begin to conceptualize it more, and stores it for a longer term of remembering. And so that's fresh to me to really be intentional in my note taking. That's why I bought a bundle of these so I know I can easily find one and I can't make an excuse that I don't have a notepad or can't find my notepad. But take those out. I think you will find some value here. Find that pen. And without further ado, we will jump into listening to Daniel.
What I want to do with you is kind of share some of that, what I came in. I mean, fresh, no baggage. I don't know that, the last 10 years, 15 years. I know we're celebrating our 15th year anniversary at Life Vantage, which again, congratulations to all of you guys. You guys are the ones that kind of got this company to this point. I'm just barely getting started. But my hope and goal is to help it get to that next 15 years, right? 30 years and 45 years. Like that's where I want to come into the story. And so a lot of times, because I've been there, I've been a part of a company where I was a part of the inception and the growth of that company. And sometimes that, like Tanya said at the top of the call, we lose that original reason why we got started. Like maybe there have been some ebbs and flows, and we just kind of like become a little bit jaded or a little bit desensitized to like what we really have at our fingertips. So I want to give you a fresh perspective of someone that's seeing this just 100 days in, why I decided to walk away from a multiple six-figure residual, comfortable, secure income to start all over. Because I'll tell you, the last 100 days have been incredibly busy because I don't have subscription volumes. And like whatever rank, we got to do that from zero all the way to that rank. There's no monthly volumes. I mean, there is now month three, but it is a lot of work to start all over. And not only that, to then endure the criticism from all of my old former partners and teammates from the old company to do this, there's got to be a compelling reason why. And so, I heard this concept of LV360 that Steve and the team was really here to invigorate growth and to really get uncomfortable, to really address a lot of these main categories. And here's what I saw, not what they told me, but what I saw through the conversations, through the products. I saw a company that understood the relevance of where direct selling was sitting compared to the rest of the world, right? Because we know that again, post pandemic, the world has dramatically changed post pandemic. Number one, I think people are more health conscious today than they ever were before COVID, right? I think that's safe to say. People are open to learning about ways to stay healthy. They want to find alternative ways than traditional medicine. I think Western medicine skepticism is a little bit higher today than it was post pre-COVID, right? So all of those things really opens up a lot more conversations about what are you doing to be proactive with your health? What are you doing to take care of your body? I think those are conversations that are more open and opportune now than it was maybe 6 years ago, 7 years ago, 8 years ago, right? So that's exciting, right? That's number one. Number two is we know the advent of the gig economy, which has been really a big factor in the last decade, has really become a sore spot for old network marketing companies. Let me explain why. When I got started 20 years ago in network marketing, it was always touted as the best side opportunity. This is the way you make extra money, you build it from home, flexible hours, all the stuff. And it was that. It really was the standalone side hustle opportunity. In the last 10 years, that's not the truth anymore, right? I mean, you have things like Uber and Lyft and Postmates and all these other easier opportunities where people don't have to go to conventions, they don't have to travel to events, they don't have to take leadership classes. They just drive and they get paid. They just deliver groceries and they get paid. They're like, I don't want to deal with all the other stuff. And so there's seemingly a simpler way to just build that extra income. So the promise of just simply a simple side income alone isn't going to be the draw into network marketing. And so one of the other things I'm my sort of forte has always been is really to understand numbers and comp plans. And really not just what's published on the paper, but to really dig in and say, what is the behavior that the comp plan is trying to achieve? And so when we look at network marketing companies, and this is not a fault against any companies, like just keep in mind, it's just the sign of aging. A lot of traditional network marketing companies, mostly, if you really look at the underlying behavior, rewards the people that build and recruit the biggest teams. That's traditionally been the way network marketers win. Every top success story that you'll see at an Eric Worre event or a any of these network marketing stories, I guarantee you these are the people that have the biggest downlines, the biggest teams, the biggest organization, because that's how comp plans are typically designed. They'll say 5% here, 10% here, check match or whatever. But fundamentally, it's all based on recruiting and building a team. It's not a big surprise that when I was in Yoli, I happened to have the largest team, one of the largest teams in the company, right? So it doesn't celebrate the fundamental behavior of getting a customer. Yes, a lot of companies are like, yes, we're customer first, we get customers, but they didn't really incentivize that behavior, right? And we know that in the gig economy, it's what we call microtransactions. It's about people going out there and selling a product or a service or driving and getting paid for it. You drive twice, you get paid twice. You drive 10 times, you get paid 10 times. It's simple promises, simple, clear promises. And someone says, I need to make an extra $100 this week, or I need to make an extra $500 at the end of the month. So if you're telling me if I do this 10 times, I'm going to make $500. Versus old network marketing, well, you got to build a team, you got to go to seminars, you got to get coaching, you got to build leadership, and maybe you make $1,000, right? And that it wasn't, the promise wasn't clear. And so those things, I recognize that LifeVantage through its new Evolve plan, especially us all being here in the United States, I know we're all part of that Evolve plan. What I recognize about the Evolve plan, and again, like I said, I don't carry the baggage of the old plan. So I'm not going to be like, well, I kind of like the old plan better, or I just saw it objectively as it was. Like, is this a good plan? Not does it better or worse than the old plan? What I recognized was there were behaviors that mimicked more closely that of an affiliate influencer, or what I call like transactional behaviors. And then there was the separate network marketing opportunity, right? And that's exciting to me because that didn't exist in Yoli. And again, it's not a fault to the previous company. It's just that that company's already 12 years old. They didn't address that 12 years ago because Uber wasn't knocking on their door stealing away distributors. But LifeVantage recognizes that. And so, of course, the consulting company probably recognizes that and say, we need to create something. Now, here's the other side. There are a lot of network marketing companies that understand the same concept, but their ideology is to abandon all of network marketing and go all in on affiliate and influencer. And that's wrong too, because there is a beauty to team building. There is a beauty to cult. I mean, you get culture with teams. You don't get that in Uber, right? You can drive for Uber, you can drive for Postmates, but you're not going to have a family of Uber drivers that say, hey, let's get together on the weekend, let's barbecue together, and let's build up our belief together. Let's like lift each other up. Let's motivate. Drivers aren't motivating other drivers. They're just simply driving and calling it a day. So there's no community, there's no culture there. So network marketing provides that in spades. And so one thing that LifeVantage did was they didn't necessarily swing the pendulum 180 degrees. They said, let's find that sweet spot. And I felt like we're there. I have a friend, he works for a talent agency here in Los Angeles. His talent agency, he represents social media influencers. And his company's job is to connect social media influencers with brands and products that they feel like is a good match. And of course, the media agency makes a cut off of that. So I asked him a very simple question. I said, what is competitive affiliate or acquisition bonuses for your influencers? And he says, most deals that we do float between 30 to 48%. There's a few anomalies over 50%, but we're talking about like bona fide celebrities like the Kim Kardashians of the world, right? And well, let's be honest, that's a 1 in a million kind of thing. That's not us. That's not what we're talking about. But for the majority of these influencers, they're getting paid anywhere between 30 to 48%. And I recognize, right, with the Evolve plan, between the retail bonuses and the Onyx, the Sapphire program, the Diamond program, we're floating between 30 to 40% once you've maxed that out. We're kind of in that sweet spot. And if you notice that those two parts of the program, you don't have to recruit a single teammate. Now you can, and obviously there is an exponential growth factor there, but you can do this LifeVantage program all without having to actually recruit somebody into the business. So what does that do for us? It begins to really widen our nets. It widens the door to people who otherwise would have never come into network marketing, right? They're looking for side hustle, gig-based transactional opportunities, not a network market. Because, and again, not saying anything bad about it, but because they already have a preconception about what they think network marketing is, they're like, oh, it's going to be another Avon, it's going to be another Mary Kay, it's going to be another Herbalife. Again, not an attack on those companies, but we all have a stereotype and a sort of this like stigma of what we believe that is. And we have friends that believe that, right? And so we need to be able to come to that conversation and say, hey, my one-liner is, this is not your mom's network marketing company, right? I'm implying that things have changed. LifeVantage is doing it differently. So I recognize that through the comp plan that yes, there is a beautiful network marketing portion. There is a beautiful culture portion through the check match, the global bonuses, and all that stuff. But there's a beautiful portion that allows new people that are not comfortable building a team just yet. Maybe the business acumen, the posturing, the confidence isn't quite there. But the thing is, one thing that's very early, a belief factor that we can build very early on is the belief in the products. Like Life Engine at least does a really, really good job bringing us solid products that are very experiential and say, okay, the products I believe in. I don't know if I believe in building a team just yet. I don't know if I believe in my own leadership capabilities yet. I don't know if I believe in my presentation skills just yet. But I do believe in Protandem. I do believe in Axio. I do believe in collagen, right? So that product belief means we have the opportunity to connect with customers through product experiences, you know? And so that creates early wins for our teams, and that's exciting. So let me give you kind of like some 100-day stats for us. I ended up coming over, and obviously a handful of my core leadership team came over with me because they trusted me on this journey. And we had a percentage. When I look at my teams, I knew that there were team members that I saw in my former company that were great at getting customers. They were great. They qualified for refer and get free products, those type of mechanics, but they weren't really making large commissions because they weren't qualified as a team builder, right? Again, traditional network marketing mechanics. So they got lots of customers, but they were never recognized, they were never celebrated. And then on top of that, they weren't really making large commission checks. So even the best customer getters would eventually stop getting customers. And that's the fundamental behavior. That's the building block of your business. So if people are falling out because they're not either being recognized, celebrated, or being paid for it, then how are we going to ever build a long-term team? We're going to constantly backfill with new people to come in, new people to get customers, and then after 3 or 4 months, they all fall out, and we got to get new customer getters. But here at LifeAndrew, what I noticed is, especially between consultant one to about SC1, there is a really, really awesome program here for brand new people to earn what I consider pretty decent checks right in the beginning of their business. Now, yeah, absolutely. Once you get into what I call the valley, right? So that when you get into the MC1, MC2, MC3, it takes a little bit of time because you're kind of in the middle of the program, right? They put a little bit of bump in that front end of the program, then there's a little bit of a bump in the back end of the program. So you kind of got to work through it, and that's where you're going to really have to go out there and build up those sales volume, right? The SVs on the multiple levels, right? Building out multiple volume sources or multiple legs, if you will. That will then have to like hold you over until you get to that about that EC1 levels and above, where you get to start to enjoy some of the check matches and the global leadership shares, and those things begin to really take off. And probably one of the reasons why all of our higher level executives and presidentials are doing so extremely well. Like we know, like I'll never come to a network marketing company, by the way, if I see somebody at the top of the plan making $1 million. Like that, to me, of course, you're going to find those people in any company you come to. Where I don't look at Tyler Daniels checks or the Pose checks or like all the big like Mark Shinsado's checks. Like I don't care. Like I mean, yes, they do really, really well, and I'm aspirational about getting there. Like I of course I want that. But that wasn't the reason why I said yes to LifeVantage. I said yes to LifeVantage because I saw a place where my teams, where 70, 80% of the people that are just getting customers can get paid $500 a month, $1,000 a month, $2,000 a month. Because the real conversation shouldn't be about, hey, join LifeVantage. If you do really, really well, you can be like the next Sean and Michelle Poe. Like that conversation, it's exciting. It sounds exciting, but it's not relatable to most people. The conversation you need to have is, what can we do today over the next 30 days to put an extra $500 in your wallet, right? Into your pocketbooks? What can we do to kind of offset some of the monthly expenses, inflation increases? Those are more relevant and relatable conversations today than the, hey, let's get a jet, a big lifestyle bump, whatever it is. Those are aspirationals, but those don't really necessarily mean somebody's going to go out there and do it, right? So that's the big thing on the comp plan that I saw. Product wise, I feel like we're in all of the right categories, right? So, my previous company, Yoli, our big hero product that got us to $100 million was weight loss. We did a big run on weight loss, and that was a big, big thing. Tanya's smiling because I think she knows some stuff, but weight loss was a big, big thing for us. And I come into LifeVantage and I said, okay, so in my previous company, my hook was, what if I could show you a way to lose maybe 10 to 12 pounds in the first 30 days? Would that be interesting? And that was kind of the hook, right? So with LifeVantage, like that hook has been different now, right? It's like, what if, and I just simplify it, right? I say, like, what if I could show you a way to either feel younger on the inside or look a little bit younger on the outside, right? That becomes my like 10-second like hook, right? Now we can modify that conversation based on the customer we're talking to, but essentially that's what it boils down to. How would you like to feel younger on the inside or look younger on the outside, or maybe both, right? That does a lot. Now, I'm going to use a word that we, I think, typically look down on. I call it vanity wellness. Now, when I say the word vanity, everybody thinks that's superficial and it's not really like whatever. What I'm saying is by vanity wellness, it's wellness that we can see and wellness that we can measure, right? And so the reason why that's powerful, and let me explain this why. Pro tandem, as great as pro tandem is, and again, not arguing the power of pro tandem. I'm again 100 days in. I'm not I'm not going to say anything sacrilegious on this call. Pro tandem is powerful, but we can't always see pro tandem working on our faces, right? When you post a before and after, like this is Daniel Song on pro tandem day 1, this is Daniel Song on pro tandem day 100. Typically, we're not going to see some visual difference. It's not vanity metrics. But when you're using things like True Science skincare, when you're using things like collagen, and you start to show people visible vanity metrics, now people go, wait, what is that? Right? That scroll stopping, right? A long paragraph on Facebook is not going to stop someone from scrolling and say, wait, I want to ask Tanya more. They're not going to do that. But if they see an incredible dynamic before and after, right? Inflamed skin, smooth skin, acne filled skin, smooth skin. I mean, people are going to say, what are you doing? That's what I mean by vanity wellness. It's wellness. We know it's working. We know collagen does more than give us beautiful skin. We know it's working for our health. We know, but at least we can see it. So I said, hey, you know what? What if I could, help you feel younger on the inside, look younger on the outside, and that became my hook. And so I was kind of led in on conversations about some of the future product direction that the company was going in, and I can't say it because I had to sign God knows how many NDAs. Like it's yeah, and the last thing I want to do in 100 days is to get a phone call from compliance. But what I will say is this: there is a reason why I hung up the hat on a multiple six-figure baked when I mean by baked, I mean I didn't have to work for it anymore. It was done. Okay, done. I gave that up, dealt with mounds and mounds of criticism and attack on my character to move to LifeVantage because of Axio, because of collagen, because of Protendum, yes, but also because of where LifeVantage is going with some of its product direction. Yes, it's continuing on that activation story, but I think, and again, just remember this meeting that we did. Let's talk by the end of this year. Let's talk again. Same people, let's get back on a call. And I'll tell you what that 15-second hook, that 10-second hook will sound like by the end of this year. What I will tell you is the way that kind of the way we say, how would you like to look younger on the outside, feel younger on the inside, maybe a little bit of both. What if you can say 3 things that all captures vanity wellness? Okay, so that's the only hint that I'm going to give you. I think if we continue to have products that are visible where we can share experiences through photos more so than just words, that creates a virality. That's what gets shareable results, right? That's when people will scroll, stop, and say, what is it that you're doing? I want to know more. And that gets me really excited about the future of where the products are going. To me, that opens the door for another 200, 300, 400, 500 million dollars. I know this product category has done over $1 billion for some companies, right? So that's exciting. So comp planning is exciting. The leadership team is exciting. The products are exciting,
Is that any
What
good?
did, so good. What did he say at the end? Well, close like a minute ago. Feel younger on the inside, look better on the outside. What was the last part of that? Did anyone catch it?
Yeah, how would you like to
Or
feel
both,
younger on the inside or look younger on the outside?
Or both?
or both,
Okay.
or both.
Okay. I need to, I'm gonna listen to that whole thing again.
So, there's quite a bit more left there that we're not going to go through, but I'm not just going to post it out there. It's an unlisted link. We're not going to broadcast it, but you can personally message me and I'll send you the rest of it and you can watch it. So if you think that's for you and you want to take the time for it, I'll definitely give you that link. I want to hear some notes from anybody else that that stuck out to him. And just know I took notes on that. I've listened to that before. And I had 2.5 pages of notes written just based off of thoughts that I had after things that he said. So what stuck out to you guys?
Just in that short 15, 20-minute thing, something that stuck out to me is not selling the big bucks or the idea that everybody's going to walk into this business and be Amy Dippold, Grant Dippold, even at that level, right? That we could do better for ourselves to just reach those people who want to start off with making $500 extra a month to $1,000 extra a month. And we all know that even at that small amount, that is like, that is massive in the economy that we're dealing with right now. So I guess that was one of the things that I took away is like, don't oversell it. Try to find those people and reach those people who just want that 3 to 500, that 5 to 800. And so that's one of my takeaways.
Who else? Thanks, Stephanie.
My thought is, how do we red carpet people out there who are in other network marketing things? Can we use Daniel Song's video? Because obviously it encouraged him to change. And does the company still have parameters for a red carpet situation like that?
So it's an unlisted video and it's not used to be a recruiting tool because the last thing we want to do is for that video to be sent to like a Yoli representative that knows Daniel and them receiving that, having the link to it, sending it back to Daniel and him receiving more criticism and attacks on his character based off of the decisions that he made. And that's a side note, Phil, I'm coming back to you. I think some of us think just us or just me is receiving an attack on my character when I reach out to somebody and they say, this is foo-foo. This guy had a multiple six-figure business and he left it and he's being attacked and criticized from people he thought were friends and family before. So just realize too that it's not this person's successful because they never got attacked and their character wasn't criticized, but the fact that they just continued to persevere even though that attack was happening. I want to encourage that thought perspective. Phil, yes, we are still red carpeting people. How do we do it? Honestly, said very abruptly is the conversation needed to happen with people 6 months ago. What I mean by that is the relationship should have been started and the conversations should have started a year ago, 6 months ago. They should be somebody that we interact with frequently and they look to us for conversation and those kinds of things. But if that's not the case, we were on a leadership call earlier today inside of the Poe organization, and somebody said, man, I just wish I had all of these relationships already. The better time to plant a tree was 30 years ago, and the next best time is now. And Phil, I know you love trees. So start now. And the other saying, and I know we're coming right up on the hour, the other saying is the person who talks to the most people wins. And something that I was convicted by really recently by Dawn Burrish, and if you remember, we had her on our call here recently, is she's having conversations with people about anything. It's not conversations about LifeVantage. It's not conversations about your product or your opportunity. She's conversing with those people and is very intentional and interested in the life that they're leading, the events that they're doing with their kids, what they're doing with their dogs, what their dogs' names are, the color of the wall that they painted, those kinds of things. She's conversing. And so write that down. The person who is having the most conversations wins. What's important about that is a lot of these conversations are happening on social media, and the algorithm, if you are having a personal conversation inside of Instagram Messenger, or you're commenting in their thread and they're responding, or if you're in Facebook Messenger and you're having that conversation, they know that that conversation's happening. So when you upload content on Facebook and you make a post or you do a story, it's putting you ahead of the line because they know you're in close engagement with that individual already. It has nothing to do with propping up your product or your opportunity. It's can you maintain a new conversation with, I mean, maybe this is a challenge for you, and I'm just coming up with a number, but maybe you start 5 new conversations with 5 new people every day and take the pressure off of yourself that it needs to be LifeVantage product or opportunity related, and take a genuine interest. And when 3 months goes by and the next company says, hey, we're switching from affiliate marketing or switching to affiliate marketing, or when that person realizes that their beliefs and stuff changed with the organization that they're currently working with, and now they're looking for a new opportunity, that you're already messaging them. And when they think of something, they're seeing your content, they know you're a friend, and they reach out to you. The last part of your question, Phil, generally probably like I'd say like a four figure monthly check. So maybe 10,000 and above for a check that way would get somebody started. But what I do know is um, we don't have to go to corporate and red carpet for the 4 figure checks. What we can do is maybe there's somebody in there that's doing 5, 6, 7,000, something like that, um, who's still growing but is doing just a great job. We'll absolutely do a Sean and Michelle and a whoever else. Like we'll go team crossline. Say they're a Roden and Fields or they're a beauty counter individual, and you have a conversation with them. We will work with our crossline cousins to also put them on, and then we'll just connect and we'll have the conversation, and we'll use a lot of what you saw Daniel's song referring to on how he evaluated our company. Here's why we think we are setting ourselves apart. We did Evolve a year and a half ago, looking at right now, realizing right now was about to come, and we needed to make a change, and we pivoted. I think that's incredible wisdom on part of our corporate team. And there's other things, where we're going with this new product launch. A couple things, guys, here quick. And I know I'm over time, and we do need to get to Sean and Michelle. I think they're probably going to have some great stuff. But there's going to be more dripping about the new product from our scientific advisory board. I would encourage you follow at least 1 or 2 of these. Write these names down. Brett Brimhall, Melody Rodarte, Jessica Bueller, Nancy Bryan, or Tara Wilson. They're either on the FAB or they're on the SAB, the Scientific Advisory Board, and they know they've signed NDAs, but they know what this product is. They know what it's going to do, and they're starting to drip. And corporate just today has allowed the dripping begin to happen on a more escalated level. And we are, as in even in the Sean and Michelle Poe organization, we're not going to have the drips even as fast maybe as what one of those names is going to get it. So take some of their posts and duplicate it in a form that it's your own words. I encourage that. And so we're over on time, Phil. I hope I gave a succinct response on your question. I hope you guys found value in Daniel's song. Once again, message me if you want to see the end of it personally. Jump over to Sean and Michelle, and have a great week, guys.